Hi, welcome to the Gear Garage. My name is Zach, and this is my fun little internet show about whitewater stuff. And today I'm going to talk about this wing inflatable kayak, the Jimbo, and it's a boat that I helped them design for our Chetco trips. And you know, the Chetco is a river that I love. I love rivers. You hike in 10 miles or hike in period and spend a few days. They're just incredibly remote, and they're typically really special. And my first Chetco trip, we hardshell kayaked it, and carrying hardshell kayaks in was rough. And our buddy Billy had brought in a regular pack raft, which was easy for the hike, but on the river he had some issues. You know, it didn't do really well in this harder whitewater with weight. It did fine, but it didn't do really well. And there was some durability stuff going on, so I was impressed by it, and I thought, what if we took an alpaca and made it longer and used a little bit thicker material? And that took me to go to Sotar and help them design the ATV, which to me was just a stretched out alpaca, but instead of having that weird pointy nose in the stern, just have a continuous tube around the outside. And the ATV is a boat we used on the Chetco for a long time, and the big downside of the ATV is it's 40-ish pounds. It's a heavy boat. Hiking those in 10 miles is a beast, and so I wanted something lighter, and we started buying back rafts and using the air back raft, the 10-pound boat. Again, a sweet boat for 10 pounds, but we had some durability problems with that, and I just didn't love the design. It was too pointy at the bow and the stern, which is hard with big loads and with overnight stuff. And just for going over some big drops, it's a little squirrely. And so the past couple years, we've been putting our guests in ATVs, and we've been putting our guides in the back rafts on our Chetco trips. But ideally, we have one boat for everybody, because that's one repair kit. Everything is similar. It's really easy. So when Wing started making boats again, I approached them and asked them, could you guys do a boat that's 20-ish pounds and is durable and a lot like this Sotar ATV, like this boat that I've been using for a long time? And they looked into it, and they found this material, this black material they'd used for some other projects, and they said, yeah. So they made me a prototype, and that first prototype weighed 22 pounds, which is fine with me. It's heavier than the back raft, but you know, for getting more durability and this better design, I was super happy. And I've tested it a bunch. We took it to Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan last fall, and I've taken it here in the White Salmon a bunch, here in Hood River, and it was a really good boat. And I decided that I want to go ahead with them and just make the design a little bit better and buy some of those for our Chetco trips. And that's how this boat came about. This boat's a lot like an ATV. We had a little bit more rocker to it, just a tiny bit, just to help out a little bit over some drops. What we did on the seats was just use a thwart that you can strap in pretty easily. And we went with a bigger diameter tube for the thwart than the outside of the boat. Most of the times, a backrest will be a regular diameter thwart. And Orange Torpedo, I used an Orange Torpedo kayak, and they had a big backrest tube on their boats. And I loved having this tube higher up in my back. And so I'm a big fan of the bigger tube. Also, when the boat flips over, it's kind of on its side a little bit, so it's easier to flip because of this bigger thwart. So I'm a big fan of having this bigger thwart. And then we wanted to do some sort of a foot system. The ATV we never really had a foot system with, and the back rafts don't have one either. And so Wing has this really cool grommet system they can do for their thwarts, and it's good and bad. You know, on the rafts, I'm not a big fan of this. But here the back raft is pretty cool because we can move this front thwart, this thwart is just to put your feet up against, which is really nice when you're available kayaking. I like having a foot brace of some kind, and it's adjustable. You can go to any one of these different grommets along the side. So if you're doing day trips in this boat, you have a nice backrest, you have a nice footrest. The boats don't come with thigh braces like this, but you can buy these from NRS. They're just add-ons, and there's D-rings here to add the thigh braces in, and it's just a great little boat, and it's really fun to do day trips with empty. I feel very confident on this boat, especially on creeks. It does particularly well on creeks, and it does fine in big water too, but I'm a fan, and a lot of people don't like how bulbous it is, but I've really enjoyed it. But mainly the real advantage of this boat, or the purpose of this boat, is for multi-day trips, and specifically for rivers like the Chetco that are low volume and you're kind of bouncing down with a bunch of weight in the boat. And you know, people that are purists and minimalists will just say bring less stuff, which is cool, and we do our best to bring less stuff on the Chetco, but things pile up, and we end up having a good amount of weight with us, and so it's nice to have a boat like this. And when we do overnight trips, we don't bring these things. So this boat, the prototype was 22 pounds. This final one was, I think, came out at 28 and a half. This small thwart is 1.2 pounds. This bigger thwart is 1.6 pounds. So if you take the thwarts out, you're looking at about 25 pounds, which is 3 pounds heavier than the prototype, and that's because we went with a little bit better valves. Went with Leafield's D7s, the new Leafield valves, which will weigh a little bit more. And I added this grommet strip in here as well, which I'm guessing these grommet strips are probably 2 or 3 pounds to the boat. And for me, I'm counting ounces on the Chetco. So to add 2 or 3 pounds is a big deal. And I like these grommet strips because they're a great place to tie down gear. You know, these D-rings on a boat are great, and they work, but these grommet strips give you so many possible places to tie down, both in the front and the back. And it ties down low, so you can get your load really low into the boat instead of being tied up high and making it loose. So this really helps on a river like the Chetco, where I might grab a dry bag or grab the gear to move the boat, and make it one solid piece. It's a nice solid package when you're on the river. We also have pretty bomber D-rings. You can't see a D-ring on the bow and the stern. We tie a stern line so we can jump out, we can line a rapid if we're not going to run it. We can pull and drag it down if we need to. A lot of times on the Chetco we're dragging in shallow parts. And there's a big bomber handle up there and a nice big D-ring with a rope we can use to pull it if we need to. So I'm a big fan of those big D-rings in the bow and stern. But on multi-days, this is a great boat. Smaller kayaks that you're used to, typical designs, don't do well with big dry bags. And we've really designed this boat around big dry bags that carry gear. So this is a typical dry bag size. If you bring a dry bag and throw it in here, tie it in solidly with these grommets, this can be your backrest. So you don't need this bad boy here. Same thing, like you bring dry bags in the front because you have more stuff, this becomes your footrest. And you can tie it down solidly with the D-rings. Last year in the Chetco, I had 2 dry bags in the back, 2 dry bags in the front, stacked tall, in an ATV, same design. And it was great going through like class 4 rapids, steep drops. You know, it can handle the load well, and I'm 225 pounds. So, you know, there was a good 300 pounds in the boat, and I could have taken more. So, it's a great gear hauler, or it's empty. It's a great boat just paddling down the river, totally empty, to get down the rapids. The people that will like a boat like this, again, are like if you need something for hiking in and you carry a lot of stuff with you, or if you just like a light boat. Having a light boat is really nice, saving 10 pounds for carrying it down to the river, for portaging, for all kinds of stuff. And so it's a good boat. You know, having it be light is just good overall for everybody. But if you're doing the Chetco, this would be a sweet boat. Even a trip like the Middle Fork of the Salmon, if you're doing a self-support inflatable kayak trip, you can certainly do it in regular inflatable kayaks that have been on the market for a long time. But this will just be more comfortable, allow you to bring more stuff, and have good places to put it, easy places to tie it down. Like I said, a lot of inflatable kayaks weren't designed for multi-day, so they don't have D-rings everywhere and tie-down straps everywhere, and they're not really set up to carry that kind of weight. So this is good for that. This would be a great boat for you and your friends to do a self-support, like Middle Fork of the Salmon trip, even a rogue trip, low water sailway. This thing would be amazing. It's really designed for handling those loads, like I said, on overnight stuff. A couple of just last features. One is this material is really slick, and it slides over rocks nicely. Better than the urethane, even better than normal urethane. I think this is a urethane fabric, but it's just a really slick fabric if you're doing rocky rivers. And there's only one valve in the main tube, so if you pop it, the outside tube's going to sink. So we decided to go with one valve to save a little bit of weight. I'm sure Wing could do things. If you wanted a baffle and a second valve, you could do that. You know, if you wanted them to take these things out and save some weight, they could probably do that too. They could do a lot of different things. But the design I'm pretty excited about, and now we have a bunch of them for our Chetco trips. So that's it. This is the Wing Jimbo. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited about it. And so if you have questions about it, please add comments down in the comments section below. If you have thoughts about how to make it better, I'd love to hear them. Like, this is, for me, boats are an innovative process. Or not innovative, but they're innovative, but they're whatever that's called when you keep making them better. I'll think of it later, but I'm always trying to make them better. This probably is not the perfect boat forever. There will continue to be slight modifications, that I'll keep wanting to make to it. And there could be some better boat out there. I'd love to hear about it. So if you have comments, like I said, please leave comments, ideas, suggestions in the comment section below. And I'm always looking for more subscribers to my videos. So if you made it this far and you like the videos, there's going to be a little my logo is going to be right here. Just click that and you can subscribe to the channel and get more videos like this. That's it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.